watching Cybernet with me, Lucy Longhurst. Get ready to score some goals, undertake mortal combat, meet a real games legend, and take a trip into the underworld. It's fast, it's frantic, it's Cybernet. If one game above all others was responsible for the stylish image of the PlayStation, then it would have to be Wipeout. Now, 4 years and one sequel later, Wipeout 3 has arrived. Fans of the series will be pleased to hear that the super smooth graphics and trademark club soundtrack are here as usual. In fact, Wipeout 3 is one of the most attractive games yet produced on the PlayStation, both to look at and to listen to. But what about improvements on the gameplay? Well, most importantly, you'll now be able to use a dual-shock controller to help you around those punishing tracks, and a split-screen two-player mode finally makes an appearance. But apart from these and a few less significant changes, there's very little here that's new. Most disappointingly, the handling of the hovercraft themselves hasn't been improved, and together with the tight corners that appear without warning on faster difficulty levels, Wipeout 3 can be horribly frustrating. F-Zero X showed how a high-speed racer should be done, with super responsive handling to get beginners through the finish line while still testing the experts. Wipeout 3 may be cooler, but it certainly isn't as much fun. From craft of the future to cars of the present now, here's a preview of World Driver Championship on the N64, where reassuringly all the vehicles have 4 wheels. If sharp visuals are high on your list of priorities, then World Driver Championship will definitely appeal. Even if you don't own Nintendo's expansion pack, a special letterbox mode will allow you to enjoy the game's impressive high-resolution graphics. Nintendo's console has always struggled for quality driving simulations, but this game, which has already been hailed by some as Gran Turismo for the N64, could well change all that. On top of a huge selection of vehicles, some beautifully detailed tracks, and the all-important two-player mode, World Driver Championship has a generous selection of competition modes as well, so there'll certainly be variety in the game. While the cars have been designed to handle realistically, there will still be plenty of arcade-style thrills as you battle the competition on the highways. It's enough to get any driving fan excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Max and Dynamite, driving the amazing Maxmobile, the only car that runs on pure water.
Welcome to the rather strange world of Circus, an interactive trip through a world of magicians, trapeze artists, and incredibly stupid clowns. With over 30 different screens to explore, you can simply sit back and watch the show, investigate backstage, or join in with the fun. Now, I wonder what this car has to offer.
Oh, look at all these buttons. Ooh, which one should I push?
Although many of the screens only allow you to push buttons or interact with the scenery, there are a number of games to play in the main tent. For instance, you could pay Dusty the baby elephant a visit and teach him how to dance. Now let's see if he can copy his faultless father.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ready, set. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
Just watch that baby go.
Excellent. Let's go on.
Once you've educated the elephants, you could always play with the trapeze artists. In this game, you have to help the clown control them as they swing around. Now, I'm sure this brave man would prefer to be safely on the ground.
Oh, that looked like it hurt.
Maybe I should have found a safety net first.
We can try again. But please get it right this time.
Circus is a colourful, fun experience, but children may find some of the activities too difficult. However, complete a game and you'll hear some well-deserved praise.
Let's celebrate and let's all join along in this little dress-up song. You did a great job.
If you've ever had rats infest your house, eat your food and destroy your furniture, get ready to get your own back. Rat Attack is here, a game where you must capture and contain hordes of rampaging rodents. You play as one of the 6 Scratch Cats, a vigilante force out to eradicate rats from the world. Using a kind of electric lasso, you must rope in those rodents, dodge just about everything, and then blast them out of existence by walking over a special tile called the Destructor. But of course, things aren't that easy. Aside from the rats that drain your energy if you touch them, there's a host of household hazards to avoid. From fire-spitting monsters to large angry bosses, you'll have to do a lot of tricky maneuvering to stay alive. But that's why it's surprisingly playable. Together with a host of enjoyable sub-games, the main levels always seem to throw something new at you just as you're getting bored. OK, this is a basic title with hardly any depth and simple graphics, but as games aimed at younger kids go, it's great fun. Monkey Madness now as Cybernet takes a look at our top 10 apes of the games world. Going berserk through the streets at 10, there's a big one on the loose in Rampage World Tour. Leading the way from some stampeding elephants, it's Cheetah from Tarzan at 9. At 8, it's the primate with panache in Monkey Hero. Oh, my hero. In 7th, the king of the monkeys is in trouble from the Neverhood in Skull Monkeys. Taking over planet Earth and your PC soon, those bad boy monkeys from Planet of the Apes are at 6. And in 5th, it's up to Spike to catch them running amok in Ape Escape. Flying into contention with his very own game at 4, it's Diddy from Diddy Kong Racing. Our third favourite ape is this funky simian from Black and White. Get down. No, leave her in the cell. Natalia hasn't been taking her medicine. It's the secret cheat for GoldenEye 007. But at number 1, he's 20 years old and still the greatest monkey the games world has ever seen. It's Donkey Kong. FA Premier League Manager 99 was a well-presented game that tried to show matches in a 3D environment. Now a new version, FA Manager 2000, is due to appear very soon on PC and PlayStation. We met one of the people behind the scenes to ask what had been done to make the game better.
One thing which definitely sets this management game apart is the match engine, because we work very, very hard to improve the match engine compared to previous version and compared to our competitors. The match engine basically is good enough to give the user feedback on the performance of his team, of individual players, and also enables the user to interact directly with the match.
One of the best features in the game will be the chance to use the virtual manager system. This means that you can hire extra management staff to take on certain unpleasant jobs that you may not like.
You will have a crew of people available which take care of a lot of aspects of the game. So technically you can set up the manager game of your dreams. So you can say, I don't want to have anything to do with stadium building. All what I want to concentrate on is the coaching side. Fair enough, you can do this.
So with its blend of detail and action, FA Manager 2000 could be just the game for people wanting a more realistic experience.
Really got hold of that. That's a great strike.
OK, time for our competition now, so grab a pen. This week's prize is a PlayStation and a copy of Sledstorm to play on it. So prepare to race, chase and be in their face with this cool and crisp snow speed monster. To win this prize, call our number and answer this question. Where does a circus take place? Is it A, under a tent, B, under a blanket, or C, under a table? If you think you know, call 0660 113333. Please dial carefully and don't forget to ask permission from the person who pays the telephone bill first. We'll put up the question and number again at the end of today's show, so get dialing and good luck. Coming up, we grapple some ghouls, take to the high seas and discover what gets a gaming guru excited. The FIFA football games are probably the most successful sports titles ever. And here's an exclusive look at the newest in the series, FIFA 2000. Although it isn't quite finished, this early footage gives you a glimpse of the new game engine. The players all benefit from the latest motion capture techniques, completed with the help of England centre-half Sol Campbell. They also have some amusing facial expressions, so you can see exactly how happy your striker is after scoring a goal. The game will also have a fully animated crowd that will passionately sing your star player's name or go mad when you put the ball in the back of the net.
Good control.
FIFA 2000 will make full use of its license and have every official stadium and team from all the major leagues in Europe. There are so many football games these days that it's fairly easy to find a good one. It certainly seems that the new generation of FIFA titles will have to raise their standards to keep ahead of the rest. With the improvements that FIFA 2000 is boasting, then this may not only be one of the best-looking soccer games yet, but also one of the most accomplished. If you've been getting stuck in the mud with V-Rally 2, then grab a pen, because we've got a cheat that will accelerate you to the winning post. At the game progress screen, press L1, R1, left, right, up, down, X, and select to access all the cars and trophies. If you hear this, then you've entered the code correctly. Highlight the empty square and press X to unlock the corresponding car and trophy. So if you can't tell a clutch from a handbrake, then you need not worry, because this great cheat guarantees you'll be first under the checkered flag. There's terror on the PCs now as we encounter cutthroats, which will shortly be sailing onto your computers. Cutthroats will see you taking the role of a ship's captain aboard a magnificent galleon bristling with cannons and weaponry. Sailing around the 17th century Caribbean, you'll have to ply your crew with treasure and rum to avoid mutiny. We're told there'll be 6 million miles of ocean to terrorise and over 70 ports to invade. The oceans are traversed by intelligent trading ships, which you'll have to plunder, and pirate hunters whom you should avoid at all costs. Cutthroats has been researched extensively to provide an authentic pirate trading and combat experience. Don't be fooled by the primitive graphics and miniature sprites. Spectacular features such as changeable weather conditions and the ability to capture land and fight on shore should provide a novel twist to the strategy genre.
Round one. Fight.
The launch of the Dreamcast is seeing the return of several famous titles to our screens. We recently brought you information on the return of Sonic and Sega Rally to the Dreamcast, and now we bring you news of an old favourite in a new guise, Mortal Kombat Gold. This energy-packed, headache-inducing title will be one of the first games to find its way onto the new console. 25 characters, new arenas, and even more stunning moves make this home version of the arcade game a key Dreamcast title.
Silence.
The fighters Baraka, Kitana, and Raiden return from the original game, and all the characters boast new full-motion video clips and animated backgrounds to fight against. Running at 60 frames per second, we're assured the pace of play will be faster than ever, and if this early footage is anything to go by, we certainly won't be disappointed. Mortal Kombat is back, and it means business. Mysteries are everywhere on the net, so we thought we'd try and find a few answers. Historians may think they have a good understanding of the origins of civilization, but occasionally something is discovered that questions how much is really known. On the excellent Team Atlantis site, a group of intrepid explorers believe that they've discovered 12,000-year-old underwater ruins, less than 400 meters from the Japanese coast. If they're right, it could mean rewriting the history books, as the complex structure would have been built many years before it was thought possible. Others believe that the stone terraces and right-angled walls are the result of complex geological activity, but channels and post holes that appear to have been carved by hand would suggest otherwise. This excellent and informative site shows us that mysteries as important as this are rarely solved overnight, so we won't know for a while if our ancestors really were smarter than we thought. There's no doubt that the statues of Easter Island are man-made, but their exact purpose still remains a mystery. The Easter Island site is a well-designed and informative collection of text, sound, and three-dimensional photographs that give a genuine impression of what it would be like to stand alongside the figures. The site also tells the story of a group of enthusiasts who tried to carve and erect a figure employing the same methods that the natives used hundreds of years ago. Did they succeed? Well, you'll have to look for yourself. You too can enjoy erecting a stone giant, but without the hard work, courtesy of a simulation that's very easy to download. There's a lot of nonsense on the web regarding mysteries of the unknown, but these two sites have done their homework, and an unbiased approach leaves you to make up your own mind. These shiny shoes belong to a legend among game designers. He thrilled us with Doom, scared us with Quake, and has kept us waiting for years while he finishes Daikatana. But who is he, and what sort of games does a massively rich, long-haired gaming guru play for fun?
Hi, my name is John Romero, creator of Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, Quake, and Daikatana, and these are my favorite top 5 games of all time. My fifth favorite game is Ultima 5 by Origin Systems, 1985, I believe. I really like Ultima 5 because it was the first Ultima that had 2 conclusions in the game. There's one in the center where you defeat the Shadow Lords, and then there's one at the very end where you get to save Lord British. It was the last Ultima on the Apple II as well, and that's when they started to develop on the PC, so it was the end of an era. My fourth favorite game is Super Mario Bros. 3 by Nintendo. I loved Super Mario 3 because it was also the biggest, best 8-bit Mario ever made. It had 8 worlds, it was huge, it was very difficult, but I was really glad that I got to the very end and defeat World 8. My third favorite game of all time is Age of Empires by Ensemble Studios from 1997, I believe. I've never been a big real-time strategy fan until this game came out, and just the music and the advancing through the ages, everything, the way you advance in technology and stuff. It was just a great game. Every time you started it, it was brand new almost. You didn't know what to expect, and it's just infinitely replayable even to today. It's awesome. My second favorite game of all time is Duke Nukem 3D. I love first-person shooters. It's the genre that I work in. And Duke Nukem 3D is still one of the best shooters. It's the best implementation of co-op play still. It's got 4 episodes with the plutonium pack. It's got excellent action. It's scary like a Doom, tons of monsters, and it was just implemented very well, and I love Duke's character. My number 1 favorite game of all time is Chrono Trigger by Squaresoft, 1995. I love Chrono Trigger because the characters are awesome, the story is awesome, the way it was implemented on the Super Nintendo was amazing. There was so much gameplay in such a small cartridge. And it still hasn't been a game that's captured me as much as Chrono Trigger.
And you can check out a world exclusive of Chrono Trigger's amazing sequel, Chrono Cross, on Cybernet soon. Now, after a successful outing on the PC, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver is gliding onto the PlayStation. In case you don't know, Raziel's a former vampire lord who's on the trail of his old master to overthrow the tyrant and exact revenge for being cast into an abyss. Acrobatic Raziel is one of the undead and as such can drift between the spirit world and the normal world by accessing portals and gates. The spirit world is represented by a scarier environment. There are less monsters to fight and the screen is usually bathed in a mysterious green light. Our hero is limited as to what he can do in each world. The normal plane lets Raziel pick up tools and weapons to help him fight, whereas the spirit world tends to be the place for puzzle solving. Some routes are only accessible in certain planes and often require some pretty strenuous physical tasks for your character to undertake, but they're all performed with fantastic animation. One of the most important tasks for the vampire to perform is to collect souls. These are glowing balls of energy left behind by the bad guys Raziel defeats. The more he collects, the more powerful he becomes, and he uses them to top up his energy. Soul Reaver is hugely atmospheric, and some of the effects are stunning. The first time you move between worlds, it really takes your breath away. The game's easy to master too, and there are hordes of imaginative monsters to battle and spells to execute. Simply put, this is one of the best PlayStation games ever. That's it for this week's show. Don't forget to try your hand at our competition to win a console. Until next time, it's goodbye from Cybernet.